welcome to another episode of On the Spot. I'm Rich Gallup. I'm joined with
Ryan MacDonald. How y'all doing? We got a good show for you set up today. We got all kinds of fun stuff, don't we?
We have a great show going on. We have like a million world premiere exclusive,
three to be exact.
Three world premieres. We're going to say we got some great movies coming up that no one has ever seen before, in the public at least. We've got some great games going on. But Ryan, let's just get right into it. Everyone, stick around. You see some great stuff. Ryan, what do you got for our first exclusive?
It's funny because I was going to do, usually at the top of the show, I like to do some news headlines, little stuff in there. And actually, I had it up to 3. Now I've cut it back down to 1 since we got so much stuff for you on this show. So I'm going to go jump right into it. This actually counts as a 4th exclusive if you wanted to.
Okay, sure, 4 exclusives.
But before I get to the exclusive part of it, I'm going to tell you this whole little thing. We got a little clip that I wanted to roll here in a second. And but before I get to that, I want to explain it and set it up. What we have is basically PlanetSide. You guys all know it, heard it before. It's a massively multiplayer online first-person shooter slash, it's a really cool game. A lot of people play it. A lot of people have been playing it for a long time. So, what could possibly be the news with PlanetSide, right? There's 2 things, actually. One is on December 23rd, a young man who's actually just a player, and, we like to do community stuff here. Cool. And one of the cool things is PlanetSide's community is like super, super avid. So this one gentleman, he goes by the name of Marco Polo as his call sign. He actually set it up so that he did basically this really cool video for PlanetSide that is explains it like no other video has ever done before. It's really cool. There's that. Plus he did this whole crazy guerrilla marketing campaign, and he's the one guy has generated tons of people coming and finding PlanetSide for the first time, which is great, of course, for the community. A lot of people playing for a long time, but always to get a new influx of new players is always fun.
And he just totally did this for the love of the game.
He did, just for the love of the game.
Free out of his own pocket.
So yeah,
as opposed to the marketing people who are on payrolls to do this thing.
Oh yeah, those guys do a pretty good job too.
I know it's a great game. Everyone knows about it. So yeah, it's nice to see someone doing this.
Absolutely. So, but the actual clip's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm just going to show like a 30-second excerpt and give you guys a taste. So let's go ahead and roll that. Oh, if that's cool, I'll just voice it over then. The cool thing about this clip is you can see it explains a lot of the stuff in PlanetSide that most people actually don't know about. A lot of people, which was one of the things he posted about, was that he was frustrated that people don't actually know that it is a first-person shooter. A lot of people think it's an online RPG like a lot of the massive multiplayer games out there.
All right.
But the neat thing about this is he's had it up since December 23rd. He's gotten tons of traction on it, and if you look, he's got it on his site where he posted all these crazy boards and did all this crazy stuff. Mm-hmm. He's really put in a lot of work on it, and people should check it out. Sony Online Entertainment, they have some stuff, and they are saying that they're going to promote the next movies and videos that he's going to do on PlanetSide on their site.
What's his site?
His site is actually, I was looking for it right there. I have it in a bunch of stuff. Come back to me and I'll have it for you before when we come back.
Cool. What about our exclusive business?
The exclusive business, that's right.
First of 4 exclusives.
That's right.
Exclusive number 1.
Exclusive number 1. Sony Online Entertainment told us today that they're going to do a battle rank extension. So for the folks that play PlanetSide and know what that means, basically they're going to bump it up. January 17th is the date they're going to do it. They're going to bump it up to 23. Right now the battle rank is at 20. So that means you're going to be able to get a bunch of more certification points, do a bunch of more stuff. So it really expands it for the players that kind of hit the kind of ceiling and been playing it at the level they have for a long time. This gives them a bunch of new stuff they'll be able to do and incorporate with their players.
So it's basically just the PlanetSide level cap has been
exists
pretty much.
That's correct.
That's great.
Yeah, totally.
Now, shall we get on to the rest of the show?
Yes, sir.
Ryan, you might not see this right now, but there's actually a third person with us in the studio right now. I can't believe this. Ryan, who's sitting next to you?
This is Kudo Tsunoda. I'm sorry.
Kudo Tsunoda.
Kudo Tsunoda. Nobody else gets it right either.
Thank you so much for coming by today. He's got the awesome shirt on, which is what we're going to be talking about today. Fight Night Round 2. You're going to tell us and show us the game for the first time in motion, right?
Yeah, let's go fire it up. So this is Fight Night Round 2. It's coming out on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube on March 1st and being developed out at EA Chicago. So here we'll go fire up the game, just show you the intro movie, give you a little taste of what we're doing in the game this year.
Now this is the intro movie that's got a bunch of good business in it, right?
Exactly. So this is all in-game PS2 capture, but it really kind of shows off what we're doing with the game. So you can see vastly improved character models. We've doubled the number of polys that we're using to make our characters, doubled the texture resolution as well. So just getting a extremely realistic view of each of the boxers in the ring. So you can see Bernard Hopkins, our cover guy this year, B-Hop in his big executioner pose. Because the other stuff we're doing in the game as far as, really playing off the big punch impacts on the game. One of our features we'll show you in a little bit. The EA Sports Haymaker actually allows you to add extra power onto your punch, for all your big hooks and uppercuts. So a lot of big devastating punch impacts, a lot of, things we didn't have in last year's game as far as, amping up the realism of our boxing experience as far as one-punch knockouts, fights getting stopped on damage, and all kinds of stuff like that really leads into the Haymaker punches. You can see here the facial animation and the devastation the Haymaker's causing on the guy's faces.
Now, you guys added a whole new cut system you're going to show us a little bit, right?
Yeah, we totally revamped the damage system. You can see right there, yeah, by far the most realistic damage system you've seen in any sports game. So, yeah, all new cuts and blood sprays, blood flows, and as well as, yeah, facial swelling and other things you can do. Again, you know, all impacts on the Haymaker, really messing up the guy's face, and all that stuff will impact gameplay as well, as far as, you know, stopping the fights and also how it affects your defense. If your eyes swelling, you're not going to be able to block punches coming in from that side as well. So I'll get in and show you the title right here.
Right on. Now, as you get it set up, I'm going to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
So, as we're going through it, let's go ahead and see who you guys got in the roster this year.
Right, so we got, you know, 36 different licensed boxers and a couple other secret characters that you'll be able to unlock. So the new boxers for this year, of course, Floyd Mayweather Jr., one of the biggest emissions from last year. Manny Pacquiao, you can just choose Winky right there if that's cool with
yeah,
you.
Totally.
I'll take Bernard Hopkins, the cover guy, obviously, got in next. As well as, like, yeah, so Manny Pacquiao, Miguel Cotto, a bunch of other boxers, Juan Lescano. So really trying to fill out the rankings. Last year we had really good heavyweights, but, you know, tried to focus in on getting some other good quality talent in the lower weight divisions as well. So.
Now, as we're loading here, we got Bernard Hopkins versus Ronald Wright. Now, what do you guys do? I'm still playing Fight Night 2004 online.
Yeah.
You guys changed that some, too. You want to talk about that before we get in the game?
Yeah, so a lot of the big things we're doing online, obviously Xbox will be online this year, so that's a huge feature. So everybody who's got to, you know, get in the game for Xbox will be able to play online. Obviously, it's a box game. This is totally suited for fabulous online play, so it's good to have more people being able to go online and play the game. And then also just trying to get a much better kind of rankings and win a title career mode system going on, so that, you know, the online experience is a lot more like you're in, you know, one-player in-game career mode experience.
Right on. Now we got a little ring entrance action here.
Yeah, and all the ring entrances here, again, customizable by the user. So you can script all your pyrotechnics, choose who you have coming out into the entourage, you know, as your entourage, you know, pick what ring girl you want dancing with you there, and like all different kinds of things, like all the options that you have for your ring entrances, you can choose before going into the fight. Plus, each of the things that you choose will actually have in the ring effects as well. So, like, you know, if you have a bigger pyrotechnic entrance going on, then your boxer is actually going to perform a little better in the ring, have the crowd behind him, getting them all psyched up and pump you up while you're fighting. So.
That's awesome. Now, is that stuff still tied to the fight store like it was in the original game?
Yeah, that's all in the fight store, but again, like with our career mode, try to add a lot more depth through the career mode as far as all the options you're being able to choose in the fight store, not just the ring entrance stuff, but all the shorts and gloves, again, are going to have in-the-ring effects. So last year, you know, you'd buy a pair of shorts for $50,000. It wouldn't do a darn thing for you in the ring. Right. So that's all stuff we've updated for this year as well. The career mode, you have a lot more control over scheduling. You're actually able to change weight classes again this year through training, so you can go lift and pump up and get into a higher weight class, or, you know, slim down and go down to a lower weight class. So here we show you a bunch of the big features. So first, the EA Sports Haymaker. So the Haymaker, last year when you wanted to throw a hook in the game using the analog sticks, you'd move your stick out to the right and then arc the stick forward, the same motion that your fist is making. You can see that I'm doing to you here. But this year, you're actually able to control the power and speed of every one of the punches. So good block, by the way. Instead of just having the one hook you can throw, when you get out to the hook point, you can crank your fist back, add extra power, and then really follow through with a big impact. You can do that on all the uppercuts and all the hooks. So now every punch that you're throwing, you actually have the ability to control both the power and the speed of the punch. Other stuff we've done with the controls this year is last year one problem we had like with our total punch control system, everybody really liked the total punch control, but the big downfalls were, one, you really couldn't punch on the move or block on the move at all. So due to limitations in our animation system, you just couldn't move your feet and fists at the same time. So that's all stuff we've updated for this year. You can now punch in on the move, get in, throw a jab, and get out before the guy can really hit you. It really enables, again, stick and move strategies, or being able to pop to the side and throw quick punches. Also, you can block on the move now, which, again, planting your feet into the canvas every time you throw a block in last year's game really didn't make much sense. You know, if someone's trying to hit you, you want to be on the move, trying to pick off the punches and blocking at the same time. So that's all stuff we've updated in the game. And then last year we couldn't even do like a simple Muhammad Ali rope-a-dope where you can, block and move your upper body at the same time. So that's all stuff we've updated in this year's game. The controls, like last year we gave you, total control over your punches, but this year really you have total control over your entire boxer. So it's like all stuff in the ring you can do just through the two analog sticks. And that's something we've really pushed for in our game, is driving towards, having good analog control play, giving you better control over each of the parts of the boxer. It's like, even in last year's game, we had such a good flow to the boxing, like you felt really good controlling your boxer. You could bob and weave, block and dodge out of the way of punches, and just giving you, more control over your fighter in the ring only helps add to the depth of the gameplay.
camera in this game is great, by the way. I just have to say it's moving with the action really well. I like the way it shakes, it's zooming. Is any of that new for this year? Or?
Yeah, we really tried to play up the impact of the punches, so you can see all the powerful punches I'm landing on Ryan here. When you're playing in multiplayer, you want to feel like, hey, the punches that you're throwing, like you've got big giant, wrecking balls on the end of your fist that are causing damage. So, stuff we do is like, the camera swings. We got that little stop, face zoom cam on the big punch impact, and then right when you move in, yeah, there you go.
That's awesome.
So really trying to use the camera to pay off, the devastating punch impacts. We did a lot with facial animation this year, when you can see when his face gets hit, how bad his face contorts, and the new blood effects that are coming out and stuff like that. So all of our facial animation, we actually mocap the facial animation, like got a stunt person to come in, put the balls on his face, and just sat there hitting him in the face over and over again so we can get the most realistic face shots.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
awesome.
On his face, that's great.
Yeah, and little pieces like that. You saw your mouthpiece flying out on the punch. It just really gives you, how you bother to learn how to use the Haymaker. You land a big devastating punch impact, and then we'll see if Ryan can get up now. So our get up mechanism is a little different than last year, but I'm sure you can handle it.
Oh, nice. I don't know if you've seen our show Button Mashing. Ryan was actually the final editor that one of our contestants played against in Button Mashing, and in Fight Night took down the contestant immediately. It's like within minutes.
Well, hopefully with all our new analog controls, the button mashing stuff will all be gone in the past. I mean, that's one thing we found from last year's game was that online users, everyone really liked the total punch control, but you really couldn't throw combos as fast with the analog stick. So that's something else we've updated this year. We have a really cool new fast combo system with the analog stick. So you can throw devastating punches like that in succession even faster than you could with the button presses.
Nice.
So another one of our big features this year is like what happens between the rounds. So, in every other boxing game and even in Fight Night last year, you had like a little non-interactive sequence where you saw a movie of your trainer yelling at you. But you can see here now in between rounds, you're actually able to take control of your cut person and manage the damage on your boxer's face. So it's like I got a little bit of swelling from, the damage that Ryan did to me. But you can see here I'm in there with the end swell just like an actual cut person. I'm working to reduce the swelling. After my face gets cut, if we get that far with Ryan, I'll also be able to switch to the cut tools to like work the cut damage down on my face as well. So getting away from like a really non-interactive kind of movie sequence and actually allowing you to get in and play the role of the cut person in between rounds. And that really ties into the game well because we have stuff like, I remember in your review last year, Ryan, where the fight stopped due to damage, but got that in this year. So if if your eye is cut or swollen, as you can see, like Ryan's eye is getting, so you can hit circle to bring out the cut tool.
Excellent.
And then use the left analog stick to choose the direction. There you go. Put the right analog stick, push it up against his face, and you can start working on his eye.
That's hard. Oh, wait.
And try and go down to the one, go lower left. That's
there we go.
Yeah, there you go. So you can do that and then also work on the swelling.
So you just keep that little dot right in the center there,
exactly,
right?
of the moving part.
Nice.
And so it's like you can switch between cuts and swelling through the course of, in between the rounds. You got 30 seconds to try and get the damage off your face. And so, you reduce the swelling, you reduce the cuts, try and keep the fight going in and beat you up a little more here. And then also try and, this year we did a lot more with, hey, if your eye's getting swollen and cut, it really affects your defense in the ring. So that hey, you can't see punches coming if your eye is swollen from that side of your face as well. So somebody like me can know, hey, his right eye is cut. I can keep coming up and trying to throw those big haymakers to that side and keep trying to drive punches repeatedly into Ryan's blind eye. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So another thing we got, I don't know if they're playing audio on the game right now as well, but one thing also wanted to point out is the commentary on this year's game has changed. So last year we had video DJ Big Tigger doing our commentary and ring announcer, which wasn't necessarily the most well-received portion of our EA Sports simulation game. So having the video DJ standing in the middle of the Staples Center with his football jersey and the commentary never having worked on boxing before, but we got Joe Chestatore now, the guy who does commentary for Friday Night Fights on ESPN and also does some Fox Sports stuff. So really trying to, again, we had some, just to get a little more realistic on the commentary this year. Nice block. Oh, we also got clinching in this year, which we can show you. So if you hit triangle on, so this is the KO moment right before you get knocked out. Instead of having your health bar just take you to 0, we now got a little mini game where it's like, hey, one more big punch is going to take you out once you're in the KO moment, and then you can get out of that using the clinching, which will give you extra health and energy back. So a lot of Ryan's looks a little bit into the man hugging in the boxing game for some reason.
I wasn't going to say it. I thought I was going to say it.
For anybody that doesn't believe that the whole Haymaker thing changes completely how this game plays, they got to try it because it's.
Yeah, it's a really huge difference to the gameplay as well. Like the Haymaker and the moving and punching and moving and blocking at the same time, really has added a lot of depth to the gameplay and the different strategies that you can use.
Put him down, Ron.
Oh, not this time. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, you!
That's awesome. Right on.
That's the second bloodiest thing we've had on the show after that Resident Evil 4 guy used the chainsaw on
look at that.
his head.
There you
I think.
Yeah. And the models look so good this time. You guys did something a little different.
Yeah, so last year we did like most game teams that you see, they'll paint a texture of the person's face and strap it on the model. But this year we have this new technology that actually allows us to take direct photos of the boxers and use their photo and strap it onto the model and use that as the basis for how they look in the game. So you can just see how like realistic, Winky Wright and Bernard Hopkins looks. Plus it gives us a good excuse to have the boxers down to the office and to hang out with them while play some fight night. So
That's awesome.
yeah, it worked out really well for everybody. So
Right on. Thank you so much.
hey, cheers! It's good to see you guys. I love the show. So
Thank you so much. You're going to be hanging out with us for the whole show, right?
Okay, fabulous.
So
yeah.
the folks at home, if they want to send in some questions, GameSpot Complete members can use the forum on the page.
And let's open it up to everyone this week, Ryan.
Okay.
If you are a GameSpot Basic member, send an email to onthespot@gamespot.com about Fight Night Round 2 right now. We'll look at all the questions and we'll ask the best questions at the end of the show.
And Kudo yourself will be answering the questions. So
Exactly.
be
Yeah,
sure
looking
to send
forward
them
to
in.
getting back on.
Right on. Excellent. Thank you so much. So we're going to move on now, right?
Sure, yeah. Ryan actually has been working on a nice little video piece based on the history of boxing video games. Now, this is just a teaser. There's a lot more coming, but check it out.
Since the beginning of video games, designers and producers have always been fascinated with creating simulations of real-world sports. And although the majority of games have focused on sports like football, basketball, and baseball, there have been quite a few boxing games over the years as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
While some of the early games were barely more than electronic versions of Rock'em Sock'em Robots, it wasn't until the NES that boxing games started to enter the minds of game players. In fact, one of the most high-profile games for the NES in 1987 was a game by the name of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, which of course featured the name and likeness of the sport's youngest heavyweight champion, Mike Tyson. Another classic that appeared on the NES came in 1987 as well, from Data East, called Ring King, which aside from its terrific arcade-style gameplay, had some unusual corner activities in between rounds. With the advent of 16-bit gaming, games like Greatest Heavyweights, Muhammad Ali Boxing, and Boxing Legends of the Ring took the virtual sport to a new level, with graphics that for the first time were simply amazing. While the 16-bit era turned out a large number of great boxing games, they were all fairly derivative of one another. It wasn't until Electronic Arts released Foes of Ali in 1985 for the 3DO that we would see a dramatic jump for the virtual sport, which would eventually pave the way for next-generation games like Ready to Rumble and the Knockout King series.
That is going to be a great segment, and I can't wait to see the whole thing. Ryan, do you have any idea when we can expect to see more of that?
It's like in honor, we got Fight Night Round 2 coming out March 1st. I better get my act together and get some more video on that thing and make it out big, because I want to do it, so a couple weeks. How about that?
A couple weeks, sure.
Yes.
Why not? And now, what happened here? We lost Kudo, but we traded him in for Jeff. Jeff, what's going on?
Oh, not a whole lot. Just,
Yeah.
hanging out. Figure I stop by and show you off some stuff, talk about some CES, things like that.
Yeah, where were you last week again?
I was in Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show. Actually, the funny thing is I wasn't there for the Consumer Electronics Show. I was there for things that were going on around the Consumer Electronics Show. Because, the games don't get shown there. They get shown in, secret hotel rooms and, back alley deals and stuff. So, Sony had a big announcement. EA showed off some stuff. So a lot of new PSP stuff was there.
Very, very cool. Now, before we talk more about CES, maybe we would like to see some of the sights and sounds, remember people what happened last week, what they could see on GameSpot. So Tyler threw together this nice little montage. Check it out. Man, CES looked like a great time. I saw some exhibit in there. I saw some Phantom. Was the Phantom actually there? You guys were both there. Tell me about the Phantom.
The Phantom was there. Yeah, they were showing Thief running on it, and yeah, who knows about that thing? You know, maybe it'll happen. I don't know. They keep showing it, and now they're showing it being playable, so it obviously exists in some form. But, you know, at this point, it's reached that kind of status where it's just like, you know, I'll believe it actually exists when you're selling them to people.
I think they're saying mid-2005 at this point. But, of course, you go to the hardware section, they have a video interview with the Phantom guy. And he talks about it and shows it off, and it turns on and stuff. GameSpot Hardware does have a lot of great videos right now. There's an interview with some dudes from Microsoft. There's like the 102-inch plasma screen television. There's the $500,000 entertainment system. Do you guys get to play with any of that stuff or stand next to it?
They don't let people like us near stuff like that, man. You know, I would have just either tried to steal. Well, I would have tried to steal the TV and break my back. Or, you know, just break stuff. You know, it all goes bad.
Now, what was there in terms of gaming stuff? Now, Microsoft, Bill Gates, he did the keynote address with Conan O'Brien.
Yeah.
So this is his big opportunity to tell us all about the next Xbox. What happened?
They showed Forza.
Yes.
Yeah. And
Forza Motorsport.
Anything else?
And apparently, like, crashed on twice. No, not really. They kind of, are steering people towards the current technology stuff. We can expect to hear more about the next Xbox relatively soon here, in the next couple of months.
All right, so then Sony has a press conference for the PSP.
Yeah.
That's their big opportunity to tell us how much it's going to cost and when's it coming out, and what did they say? Concrete, right in stone.
Not so much, really. No, I mean, Sony's press conference, they showed off a lot of the multimedia capabilities, which is great because, CES attracts a lot of kind of mainstream press that, I mean, people like us, we've already have a PSP. But they were kind of showing off these features to people that might be more interested in the gadget side of the system. And kind of games took a back seat for most of the presentation. At the end, of course, they let people play it. So they kind of put a big focus on some of the new stuff coming out, like Twisted Metal Head-On, Wipeout Pure, Need for Speed Underground Rivals was there. So these are games we're seeing in their playable form for the first time. And they all look pretty sweet so far.
Very cool. Now, we were talking about, we saw the PSP montage they showed during the press conference last week here on the show.
Yeah.
Twisted Metal, was it cel-shaded? Was some of it cel-shaded? Do you know?
No.
No, it's not?
Not cel-shaded.
All right.
It looks kind of like stylistically it looks kind of like Twisted Metal 2, but they've kind of, obviously the graphics are a lot better than a PS1 game were. So it's kind of like, imagine if they ported Twisted Metal 2 to like the Dreamcast, and made it widescreen and 8-player Wi-Fi and kind of added some new vehicles and changed your weapons and stuff.
I can totally see that. Yeah. Now you have right on your desk in front of you, or your seat armchair thing. What do you have in your hand there?
Got a PSP here. This is actually one of the games that wasn't shown at the press conference. This is Pipasaru Academia. They're calling it Ape Escape Academy in Europe and stuff. Hasn't actually been announced for U.S. release yet. And hopefully it'll come over. They're bringing over the remake of Ape Escape 1, so hopefully this one will make it over too. So this one's like a collection of crazy mini games.
And that is as WarioWare has proven, that is probably one of the best forms of portable games, is a crazy bunch of mini games.
Yeah, and this one actually lets you play 2-player on the same PSP. You can have one person holding the left of the system and one person holding the right. And this one I'm playing here is kind of like a crazy pilot wings thing almost, from parachuting down and trying to fly through these rings and probably not hit the monkeys, but hey, I can't read Japanese. I don't know what I'm doing.
I've seen this. You land on the dam and then set the charges on the power generator, right?
Yeah.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, exactly. That's totally what you do. And then James Woods come out and tells you what to do next.
That's great.
Now, I know this is all in crazy Japanese, but do you have any idea how many different levels there are in this?
I've been playing it pretty much all day, and I actually haven't seen the same one twice yet. I think there's somewhere in the neighborhood of like 50 or 60, if I had to guess. But it like I said, it feeds them up to you in a random order every time, which is really crazy because you kind of never know what you're going to get next. And but not quite as crazy and random as, say, WarioWare is. It's not serving up to you that quickly because it has to load each game and tell you how to play and stuff like that.
Now, this is one of 2 Ape Escape games they have for the system.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They have the minigame collection. The other one is a remake of the first Ape Escape for the PS1. That they're going to go back and put in some new mini games. They're changing the control around, obviously, because there's only one analog stick here to work with, and they're basically improving the graphics and changing things up a bit. But it's largely a remake of the original game.
Right on. And now this is the part where you're going to blow the dam or something?
we were kidding. Dude.
Oh, okay.
That was a San Andreas joke.
Oh,
I just did that part in San Andreas. So
I thought you landed. I thought it was going to be on. I was waiting for the demolition.
No, but I landed near a pirate ship and
So you did good?
I lost.
Well, that's a great demo. Thank you very much, Jeff.
Thanks,
no problem. And you sit right there. If you have any questions for Jeff or Ryan about CES, send them in right now. GameSpot Complete members use the form built in on the page, and of course, keep sending in your questions for Fight Night Round 2. Now, Ryan, I think it's time for our second of 4, or is this our third of 4? Did Fight Night count as one of our 4 premieres?
Yes, this Fight Night counted one of our.
So this is our third of 4 world premieres right now.
Huge.
Jeff, I know you've been waiting to see this. This is great.
Big time.
Huge. Check it out. World premiere. They showed it at E3. Now they're releasing it to the public. Check it out. It's the trailer for Mark Echo's Getting Up, Contents Under Pressure.
If I knew it was gonna be this hard, no one warned me. Being a toy wasn't that hard after all, huh? This city will kill me if the aerosol fumes don't burst. First these chumps vamp me, now the CCK, damn near everywhere I tag, watching me, stressing me, and now, all of this, just to get a rep? For what? I just wanted to get up, get my name up for all city. But this battle, it ain't just about me. It's bigger than me. It's about us. You down for it?
Hey, what's up, toy?
Excellent.
That's cool.
Hey, look what I'm reaching for right now. Totally surprised me. Check it out. You see this? You saw the main character Train wearing this. It's a still-free hooded sweatshirt made by Mark Echo himself, hand-stitched by Mark Echo. No, it isn't. Anyway, there's the symbol for the game. We're going to be giving away 3 of these at the end of the show.
Cool.
After we take our Fight Night Round 2 questions. Very cool. Now, you may not have been able to recognize the voice at the beginning. We just ran a news story. Rapper Talib Kweli is going to be the voice of Train. Very cool.
And we just ran a Q&A with Mark Echo, and he says that there are other like celebrity voices and other interesting voices to be revealed. So who knows where they're going to go from there? Huh?
That game has a lot of potential.
Yeah, as long as they throw in, as long as you can like find like glowing, spinning German fat caps and pick them up and go put up hot burners. I'm
sure,
all for it.
those are good nouns right there.
Yeah.
And if you want to learn more on Talib Kweli, check out our sister site mp3.com. Run a search for Kweli, Kweli, or check out GameSpot News for that, or the Mark Echo Getting Up Contents Under Pressure game space for that interview.
Long name.
It's a long name. Do you guys want to take some questions real quick?
Sure. Yeah.
All right, cool. Before we move on to our next premiere, Sure. All right, Sammy Elbaz, Hollywood, Florida. This is for you, Jeff. How long does it take to transfer a 700 megabyte AVI movie file into a PSP codec? You recently wrote in your journal that you watched Anchorman on your PSP.
Yeah.
How'd you do it? How long did it take you?
Well, it's a multi-step process from there, because the thing is, you have, if like you go out, you get the DVD, you have to take it off the DVD, and then you have to convert it from basically like an AVI down to the MP4 codec that the PSP recognizes. That actually didn't take me so long. I have a 3 gigahertz machine with 2 gigs of RAM. It took, I don't know, 45 minutes to do that step.
Sure.
And then, of course, you have to copy the file onto the PSP memory stick, and I think that was maybe like another 15 minutes or so.
So that changed the file size at all?
Yeah, it dropped it
noticeably?
down to about 300 megs, and that's the medium quality setting, so it's like 15 frames a second. And you can see some artifacting here and there. There's obviously like a higher quality setting if you want like a better quality video out of it. But medium quality was very watchable. For fast motion and stuff, it still seemed pretty good. And yeah, the movie looked great. You could zoom it up; it filled up the whole screen. It was widescreen and all that good stuff. The sound was nice. It was definitely made my 15-hour plane ride madness. Airport stuff a lot more manageable.
You should have driven home, man. Totally.
I know.
All right. This question is from Greg 2K in Madrid, Spain. He wants to know, he says, Nintendo's about to face its biggest competitor in the portable gaming yet. Do you realistically think Nintendo will be able to survive the PSP? I say yes. What do you say?
It depends on your definition of survive.
Yeah.
The PSP is certainly not going to put Nintendo out of business, but you compare the PSP and the DS, or the PSP and the GBA, or the PSP and the N-Gage and all that stuff.
PSP at any handheld, yeah.
Yeah, the screen is great. The games are awesome. It's definitely a step up from anything the GBA is capable of, and it's definitely a step up from what I've seen on the DS so far. That's either out here or in Japan.
I guess the what ifs are like the price point and the release date.
Yeah, that stuff definitely all factors into it.
And how willing are parents to hand younger children something that looks like the PSP?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. I got a 3-year-old little boy at home.
You sure do, Michael.
He loves, like Justice League stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I've been putting that on there. And like in the car, at home, just as long as he's nowhere where he's like over cement with it, I'll hand it to him and he'll put the headphones on. He thinks it's the greatest thing ever, too.
That's great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to have future kids of my own. They're
All right.
like eating food out of pills and flying to school on jetpacks. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
All right, cool. One last question before we move on. This is from Eric Bartazak, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Myrtle Beach.
NARC was just announced in 1995, a steel similar to ESPN's NFL 2K5. Do you think this will be something more companies do in the future?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's something you're going to see a lot more, at least with kind of the remainder of this generation. Once the new systems come out all over again, it's kind of a whole new ball game. People are going to be clamoring for new games for the system, regardless of quality. We all know the stuff at launch sells, so you're not going to see budget titles for maybe like the first year of the Xbox 2 or PS3 or any of that stuff, I'm guessing. But towards the end of the cycle, you kind of get the mass market in there. They're not necessarily willing to pay $50 for some of these games. They're looking for like the big name games like the GTAs and the Maddens and stuff like that, Gran Turismo. So some of these smaller names like NARC, it's like we may be hyped up about them, but to the outside viewer, they don't even know what NARC is. But you show them $20, friend prices, NARC, it's crazy. You're shooting people, taking that. It definitely is a lot more appealing to the average consumer that way.
Can you explain the phrase "friend prices" for me, please? I saw that in the commercial.
I think that's a
What's
drug term.
Is that what it is?
It's some kind of drug dealing thing.
Okay, great, sure. All right. Well, shall we move on to our next game demo?
Yes, sir.
Ryan, why don't you tell us all about it?
God of War, David Jaffe, Santa Monica Studios. They're doing some business down there with God of War. It looks like the next big thing for the PlayStation 2. We got our first playable demo right here, and we actually wanted to show the whole thing live, but it's crazy because after the cool intro and stuff like that, it dumps you in, and then you got to fight like 40 dudes. So what we did was we split it up. We're going to show you the cool intro first on tape, and when we come back, we'll show you a live demo up against one of the heads of one of the bosses that we found. So let's go ahead and roll that clip.
The gods of Olympus have abandoned me. Now there is no hope.
And Kratos cast himself from the highest mountain in all of Greece. After 10 years of suffering, 10 years of endless nightmares, it would finally come to an end. Death would be his escape from madness. But it had not always been this way. Kratos had once been a champion of the gods.
Foul beast! I will send you back to the depths of Hades!
All right.
And we are back. That game was awesome.
Yes.
It's vicious. Vicious.
Ryan, play this game.
Okay,
please.
all right. So if we want to cut to me or the live feed of this, I will hit the pause button. But I'll warn you all now. It's like this game is awesome and awesomely hard. Look at this. Look at this. This giant Hydra monster thing. There's multiple heads to this, and Ricardo was nice enough to get me in this spot and get me set up. Oh man.
And you're
we
totally
should've-
gonna get.
Cut it. What are
I
you
know.
doing?
I know.
Cut it.
I got to do the modifier thing.
Modify his face.
I'm trying. Look at it. 6 hits right there for you. What's up?
I don't think you hit him, did
It
you?
says 6 hits.
Oh, okay, fine.
All right. Look, that's 2 hits.
Sure, that isn't like how many times it's hitting you.
Maybe. No. No. There's my life bar. I'm almost dead.
All right, all right.
So this is the Hydra, not to be confused with the Hydra jet, hovering jet from San Andreas, which is also where I just got to. I'll stop.
You haven't finished that game yet.
I'm so close. This is
That was
awesome.
brutal.
So now this is just the first of many heads. Is that what you're telling us, Ryan?
Yeah, that's what Ricardo was telling me, and he's the one that got us this awesome demo. And man, we got it literally right before the show started.
Yeah.
And I got about 2 seconds to practice up my cool spin move that you guys see me doing here.
You're doing all right.
Thank you, thank you. I'm working on it. Oh!
Oh, nice.
I think I got. Oh, what's that?
But that. Oh!
I missed the second one. Did you see it?
Oh, that's that
Yeah.
context-sensitive stuff.
Yeah,
that the
yeah,
game's known
totally.
for. It
If
tells
I
you
would have
which
hit the
buttons
right
to
button, I
and
think I
then
could have
you're-
actually ended him.
I'm looking at all his health's back.
Oh no. Right on. Well, we're going to be doing some more stuff on this, more impressions and media, and let's see if I can get him to do it one more time.
All right,
But-
well, you're not getting hit as often anymore. So.
Oh yeah,
You're definitely-
I'm starting to get a little bit of a feel for it. Oh, or maybe not.
Oh, you are dead. So Ryan, what can people expect to see on this game on the site very soon?
Oh, we're gonna
What are we looking at?
have more media. We're gonna have more impressions. We're gonna have more info. Pretty much more on God of War. And as we get closer to the games, believe it's March release date.
I think so.
It looks awesome. I mean, I can't wait to get
Even
further
better
into
than it did at E3, which we did not
Yeah.
think was possible
No,
at the time.
It's totally true.
That game looks great. I can't wait to play it. Wonderful. All right, should we take some more questions or should we move on with the show?
We should move on.
All right, cool. Now, we do have one more world premiere. This is our final world premiere. I
on.
believe so. Is it our final? Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
you never know, man.
You
Some
never
might
know.
run in
Some
the
might
door.
show up. You know, Ricardo's bringing stuff in all the time for us. All right, basically, this is a teaser trailer, which I'll tell you more about later. But right now, enjoy this little taste of Dragon Ball Z sagas.
You've wished for his strength. You've imagined battling his enemies. You've dreamed of living in his world. Now, for the first time ever, be the hero. Dragon Ball Z Sagas.
Well, that's it now. Dragon Ball Z Sagas. It's a Dragon Ball Z RPG, if you believe that. If you come back at 6 o'clock, we're going to have a developer interview.
Whoa.
It's not 6 o'clock? It's not an RPG? Who told me that? What is it? It's a what?
Action game,
Fine,
baby.
it's a Dragon Ball Z action game. My bad. I don't know whoever told me that. All right, but 12 gameplay movies.
That's right.
A developer interview. Anything else? Impression story. Come back 6 o'clock Pacific time. So if you're all around, do the time conversion. Whatever time it is now, come back in about an hour, and it'll be on the site. It'll be
all
great. You'll
set.
read it. Everyone still likes Dragon Ball Z games, so it'll be worth checking out.
Yes, sir.
Now, Ryan, in that brief 17-second trailer, Jeff magically turned into who?
My man Kudo.
He's back. Welcome, Kudo. How's it going, man?
It's going
Good
good.
to see you. Good to see you again. Thanks for hanging out.
I'm glad you guys let me back on. So
We have a ton of questions that have been
of
sent in. Ton of questions. Ryan, how about we'll just go rapid fire. We'll go back and forth asking Kudo these questions. Kudo, you ready?
Oh yeah.
Ryan, you go first.
All right, this comes from my man Rahi, and Rahi asks, is Fight Night coming for the GameCube? If so, how are you going to facilitate with a unique outlook of the GameCube pad?
Yep, so games coming out again on PS2, Xbox, and GameCube this year. So actually the GameCube, the sticks that work on the GameCube works really good with our analog punch system and our total boxer control. So, you know, it's a very similar setup to the other controls, trying to make the gameplay consistent throughout all the different platforms. But yeah, the punching and movement system feels just as sweet on the GameCube as it does on the other platforms.
Right on. We got Alan Stevenson who wants to know, Alan comes from Brooklyn, New York. He wants to know, do you retire at the same age as in the first Fight Night?
Yeah, and I remember that from your review last year also, Ryan, not a big fan of the forced retirement at the age of 40 last year. So this year, yeah, there is no forced retirement at any age. Actually, over the course of your career, you're going to start getting older. You're going to start putting on weight, kind of a la George Foreman, and your ratings are going to start going down. So you're not forced ever to retire as long as you can keep training and keep fighting well. As your ratings are going down, you're getting older. You can keep fighting on.
Right on.
I got a question from Andrew Ruperto, Victoria, BC. That's in Canada. He
Yes,
wants to know, will we be able to create and design our own fighter? If so, what kind of depth will we be seeing in the creative fighter? For example, will it be similar to the system in Tiger Woods, where you completely customize clothes, facial expressions, and skills?
Yeah, so we have a really cool Create a Champ feature this year. And, love Tiger Woods Game Face. That was a great feature and all. One of the things I really didn't like about the Game Face feature, though, was how you had to build your character all through a big menu of, sliders and different percent values that you have to tweak. So actually, I'll show you the Create a Champ feature we got in this year's game. We have a much more kind of visual interface where you're actually able now to sculpt your boxer's physique and face features just using the analog stick. So no more menus, no more that, hey, I have to choose a 78% nose or something like that. So it's just all stuff you can do visually and all through the analog stick. So I'll show you how it works here. On the boxer's physique, the left analog stick just adds muscle content, anything from 0% muscle all the way up to 100% muscle. You can see the muscle just getting added right on the body. The right analog stick goes from 0 to 100% fat. So no more do you have to choose from different body types. You can just choose, sculpt the guy's physique, adding muscle and fat any way you want through the two analog sticks. And so I'll make a little pudgy guy, kind of like I'm getting these days. And then that also works not only on his physique, but on all the head and face features as well. So you can see here, the left analog stick is just moving his skull, like the back of his skull, in and out. Up and down on the analog stick makes the head either expand or grow. Right analog stick works on the forebrow and the forehead. And so every feature of the guy's face, eyes, the right stick will narrow the eyes or make them wider, tilt the angle. The left analog stick allows you just to move the eyes anywhere on the face. So it's a much more visual interface now. You have a lot better control of building characters exactly like the ones that you want to see in game. And then also it's actually a lot easier to do than what you could do with the Create a Character last year. So doing the Create a Character, building your own character in this game actually takes half the time it did in last year's game. So a lot more in depth than you ever saw in the Tiger Woods stuff, a lot more visual, all sculpting through the two analog sticks. You can just make any character you want, and trust me, there's nothing cooler than seeing a guy who looks just like you in the ring, and then seeing him getting punched in the face and your eyes falling and the blood coming out. It's really cool. So
that is awesome. I like the little wireframe lines around it too. That really makes you feel like you're getting in the programming of the game and adjusting.
Exactly. It's trying to give the power that our artists have to build the models in the development studio right into the hands of gamers through the analog sticks on the controllers.
That's great. Ryan, more questions.
Yes, this comes from Peter in Toronto, Canada. He wants to know if you can tell him a bit more about the weight divisions in career mode. Will we be able to switch divisions in career mode?
Yeah, so the cool, the morphing boxer skeleton technology you saw to use those Create a Champ features in the Create a Boxer is something else we use during your career mode for training. So now when you go in and train, you can lift a bunch of weights, and much like myself, it really bulks you up into a huge physique. So it's not just improving your ratings, but actually lifting weights adds muscle content to your body. Or as you're getting older, you start getting heavier, and or you can go in and do a speed game, lose some weight. So it's all through the training now you can actually bulk up or slim down, change weight classes. Go in and win different titles in different weight classes. But again, it's not so easy just as changing. Just like in real life, you got to train and work your body into the point where you can actually compete in a different weight class.
That's cool. All right, Juan from Anaheim. What, if any, new fighters have been added to Fight Night?
Yep, so we added 6 new fighters this year, starting with Floyd Mayweather Jr. So obviously, undefeated, one of the best boxers in the world, which we didn't have in last year's game. And then really we tried to add a lot of the bigger stars in kind of the lighter weight division. So we've got Manny Pacquiao, who had a huge year this year. Miguel Cotto, one of the really big up-and-comers. I think that's something we did really good in the game this year and last year, was get not just the big people who are holding titles now, but the people who are going to do really good over the course of the upcoming year, like Antonio Tarver we had last year and guys like that, and Winky Wright, and then also Diego Corrales we added, and Juan Lescano as well. So got 6 new fighters in the game overall.
Right on. Sorry, I was looking at these questions. You guys, thumbs up on the questions. You guys are asking all kinds of good questions. Nightbird DS up in Canada once again wants to know, what about the music? What do you guys got in there this year? Can you talk about the tracks?
Yeah, so have a good collection of hip-hop music, but one thing we also tried to do is just get a better collection of a wider variety of different types. So again, all the ring entrance music is scriptable, just like all the rest of the effects. So we've got some hip-hop music, some good thrash rock music, even some music tailored towards specific fighters. So a little more kind of Hispanic-oriented tracks for the Hispanic-oriented fighters, stuff like that. So trying to get music that not only fits the game but matches the personal ring entrance styles of all the different fighters as well.
You got any of the big ones up
Sure,
there?
I got some. Let's see. Tom at Sport Lauderdale. Will this boxing game appeal to non-boxing fans?
You know, actually, that's a really interesting question. I mean, like, one of the things I really like about boxing is out of all the sports, it's definitely like a sport that everybody understands the rule set right away. You know, it's not like baseball where the kind of, you know, there's all these, like, weird rules you have to understand. Boxing, it's like, hey, you know, either hit the other guy and don't get hit. Pretty much everyone's been there at some point in your life, and everybody understands, like, that rule set, right? So it's like, to me, it's just, you know, it's a really good fighting game. It's the ultimate head-to-head competition. Anybody who likes multiplayer games, anybody who likes really fast and furious action, like, you know, I think it would appeal to just about any gamer out there. It's like, you can see the game's just such a high-quality game, and it's, like, all about the cool combat experience, and obviously, like, the trash-talking multiplayer head-to-head you can do, either in person or online. So, yeah, you know, it's pretty much, I think you have to be a crazy person not to like Fight Night Round 2, for goodness sakes.
One personal question I have. You told us you added 6 new boxers. Did you guys lose any? Have any absences?
Only boxer we don't have, I think, from the last year going on to this year, and I don't know necessarily this might be 100% correct, but Lennox Lewis we lost for sure, and so, you know, but Lennox Lewis, again, retired from the sport of boxing, so it's kind of like trying to keep it, you know, up to date, but we still have a lot of good, the old legends in as well, so, you know, like the Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier's, people like that, but yeah, it's mostly Lennox Lewis was, you know, the big name from the heavyweight division we lost.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm good with all these questions. These are
we can keep you all day, actually, if you wanted to answer all of them.
Well, hopefully you and I can get offset and go play some more Fight Night.
What's this I'm getting right now? I think, actually, I'm being told we have a video question specifically for Kudo coming from Johnny in L.A. Run it.
New video question.
It doesn't have any audio? All right, fine. I'll ask the question. Kudo, tell me, what if it snowed in San Francisco? Please tell me.
Yeah, trust me, if it was snowing in San Francisco, I'd be out, like, hitting up the side of the Transamerica building just like Johnny Mosley, so yeah.
Oh, man. All right. Kudo worked on it.
It was a blast from the past.
If anyone doesn't know, what if it's snowing in San Francisco was like the catchphrase of Let's GameSpot for about like a 4-month period. We love that video. It's hilarious. Can you tell us anything about, you said, now, did you write that? Was that Johnny Mosley going off the
You know,
top?
that's all we got to work with Johnny Mosley on that project. He's actually a really creative guy and had a lot of input on the game. So, like, actually, that was all him, you know, something that he had always thought, like, you know, he grew up in the area and just being, you know, the big free skier that he was, had always, like, wondered, hey, what could I do if it snowed in San Francisco? So, tried to capture the spirit of that in the game. That's great that you guys still have that clip.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, it's good to see you guys. And again, just love the show. Great. And, like, for sure, you know, GameSpot's definitely one of the places I love to go for game information. So it's like, yeah, love your guys' site, love your guys' show. You guys do an awesome job.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot,
cheers.
man.
We're going to have to have you back, man.
Yeah.
I want to see. I will give Ryan a little bit of time to practice this game.
Yeah, we'll come back and fight again.
Totally. Now, before we give away all these great sweatshirts we got back here, last week, the fine people at EA, actually, for The Lord of the Rings, The Third Age, gave us 60 Balrog statues valued at $150 each to give away on this show. Now, a lot of people entered. I think we had over 300 entries, and a lot of people got it wrong, actually, and it was a multiple-choice question. I let you enter it as many times as you want, so there's no excuse for wrong answers. But if you want to see if you won, watch this video right now. And we are back. All 60 of you will be getting your prizes. We saw some great locations there. Kuwait, Iceland, Norway, Australia. I think Sweden might have gotten there. Canada, that's another country too. And yes, one of you will be getting a Balrog, which I fed potato chips to. Don't worry about it. I washed it off. It'll be fine.
Excellent. There's a lot of people.
That was 60 people.
That's a lot of Balrogs.
That's a lot of Balrogs. Man, Fight Night Round 2. That game looks good, huh?
Yes. I can't wait to actually get off set so I can go see if I can't try to play it a few more times before he leaves.
All right, cool. Well, let's give away some sweatshirts.
All righty.
But before I give away these sweatshirts, actually, 2 shows ago, or last show, I forgot to mention the people who won from 2 shows ago.
Oh.
Remember you brought back that great Metal Gear Solid 3 stuff from Japan.
And you had the Madden stuff, the Madden Challenge.
That's right. We stole the Madden Challenge posters. And we had a nice trivia question. Eric Grapentine of Winnipeg, you won the Metal Gear Solid 3 stuff. And the Madden Challenge banners, we asked you to give us your nickname if you were in the Madden Challenge. TJ Messer of San Diego, Tater Salad, great nickname. And Vinny Brandonioso from New York, Precious Roy, another great nickname. You guys will be getting the Madden Challenge banners.
Now, speaking of a couple shows ago, wasn't there some time back in November? Wasn't there something we were going to do up in Canada? Speaking of Canada as well?
Go to Canada?
Yeah,
what
that's
were we going to do in Canada?
A little Bioware action, a little Jade Empire, a little Doctors, no?
Oh, BioWare.
There you
Yeah.
go.
So, why do you mention this?
I mentioned
Ryan?
that because the big surprise is next week, next show. We're going to be coming to you live from Canada, the BioWare studios. We're going to be doing on the spot, taking your questions all about Jade Empire. We're going to have the doctors there. They're going to be telling us all about Jade Empire. We'll be showing it off probably more extensively than you've ever seen it before. So definitely tune in next week live, 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time.
And I've been told that next week in Edmonton, where we're going to be, is supposed to be the coldest week of the year.
I hear that
Send
as well.
mittens. Mom, I know you're listening. Send some mittens.
So if you guys got questions for BioWare, please send them throughout the week. We'll be checking. On the spot at GameSpot.com. We're opening up to everybody. Go ahead and send them this way. Of course, GameSpot Complete members, you can go ahead and use the page that the On the Spot show shows up in. Use the forum. Throw those questions in there and send them our way.
All right, cool. Let's give out these these sweatshirts. All right, so you saw it's a nice black sweatshirt. It says "Still Free," just like the main character in the game. Made by Echo. There's the tag. It's a size extra large. If you want to win it, send me in. I want you to hear what your tag would be in the Big Brother future of Mark Echo's Getting Up Contents Under Pressure. Whoever has the 3 coolest tags, just make up a name, kind of like the Mad Challenge thing. 3 best will be getting these sweatshirts sent to them.
Excellent.
It's great. I think that's our show.
I think that's the show.
Ryan, send us home.
All right. No, actually, you do the thing so good.
No, you
have to
say,
do
all
it.
right.
All right.
Cool.
I'll do the first part. You do the last part. All right.
That's fine.
For everybody here in the studio, for everybody that put together the segments, for Kudo, for EA, for everybody helping out, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, thanks to all of you for watching. We'll be here once again next week, live from Canada with BioWare. Go ahead.
Sure. We'll see you in Canada right here or right there on the spot.